Mean absolute deviation, or MAD, is used to check the forecast effectiveness. And this video will show how to do that. Assume that we already forecasted the data for 15 periods. We already have the demand for it. And then first, we are going to go for mean absolute deviation MAD to calculate MAD. However, first let's calculate the deviation. So how far are we from the demand? So just simply subtract that will provide us the demand. Now, if you look at this, you have some very low forecasting, very high forecasting. So negative indicates very high forecasting, high negative value. Very high positive value indicate very low forecasted value. So as you can see, if you add them, they might end up 0, telling that you don't have any deviation, which is not true and cannot be used to check the forecast effectiveness. So we need to find out the absolute value of this deviation. So we can so d minus f, absolute value of that. In Excel, you can simply type ABS. That will provide the absolute value. So it is the absolute deviation from that, simply taking out those negative signs. And then to calculate the mean absolute deviation, we have to find the total. Let's calculate the total error, sum of the error column, and then let's calculate the absolute value of the total error, which will be much higher because we're not canceling any positive negative here. So all of them is going to be added. So, and then we have 15 data points here, but if you have to count the sample size, we're going to determine the mean value. So we need the sample size. We have have 15 here, but we can use a function where you don't know. You can use the count function and then it will count that. So the mean absolute deviation MAD is simply the total deviation divided by the number of period we forecasted. So it's 5 in this case. Now it comes useful when you have prediction from so many different models. Let's say you are using moving average, exponentially smoothing, or seasonal adjusted. So with different MAD, the lower MAD value means it's a better predicted model. But just by looking at one number for one model does not tell you anything. So this is primarily used to compare between different models of forecasting.